It's always been an interesting question, Note or S? Do you go for the massive productivity-sized device that ended last year with a bang, or do you go for the latest and greatest, most up-to-date one that just came out? In case you missed yesterday's video, I'm launching a big Galaxy S10 giveaway with everything Apple Pro. Rules will be in the description below. Okay, both phones are actually very tempting propositions right now for two very different reasons, but to get one thing out the way, they have a lot in common. The same build materials, same charging speed, IP68 water and dust resistance, they both have a headphone jack. I'm liking that all of Samsung's recent flagships have also put an emphasis on speaker quality. These are two great sounding phones. You might know, the Note 9 is a productivity machine, and one of its main advantages over the smaller S line has been its behemoth 6.4-inch display. But now that they've managed to cut down on the bezels pretty significantly, they've managed to get the same 6.4-inch Quad HD Plus screen into a much sleeker, lighter body. And the screen is actually better here on the S10 Plus. It reaches a crazy peak brightness of 1200 nits, making it pretty much oblivious to harsh lighting and allowing content to be shown in glorious HDR10 Plus, compared to HDR10 on the Note 9. It's slightly taller too, with a 19:9 aspect ratio versus 18.5:9 on the Note 9. It just means you can fit a little bit more content in when you're scrolling on feeds. And as a bit of a cherry on top, the screen-to-body ratio on the S10 Plus, at least Samsung is claiming, is 93.1%. which compared to 83.4 on the Note 9, makes that phone look almost old school in comparison. It does come at the cost of this hole punch in the top right though, which I don't hate, but I know there is a vocal community of people who do. So that's cool, but it actually gets even better for Samsung's latest. One of the other big selling points of the Note 9 and the Note series in general was just really long endurance, really large batteries. But again, the S10 Plus comes with a 4100 mAh cell compared to 4000 on the Note 9. Not a world apart, but when you pick it up, this doesn't feel like a phone with a battery that large. Combine that with a more power-efficient 7nm chip in the new phone, and it's going to easily dethrone the Note 9 as Samsung's battery king. So in that sense, it's starting to look like the introduction of the S10 Plus almost completely invalidates the need for the Note 9 at all, but there's two areas where it can't. One of them being the S Pen. There are a lot of people who literally wouldn't even notice it's missing, but the Note series does have its fan base, and some people are still fiercely loyal to the stylus. So you'll just have to decide how important it is for you. The other thing is price, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Note 9 has a significant price advantage. In the next week or so, you'll be able to find one for around $750 brand new, which makes it about 20% cheaper than the base S10 Plus. And at that price, it's not a bad option, but ultimately, for 90% of people who are considering both, the S10 Plus just makes more sense. This is why. I would say that compared to what we saw between the S8 and the S9, this is not an iterative upgrade, this is a leap forward. Compared to the barely half-a-year-old Note 9, it's powered by a chip roughly 30% faster, and the base model comes with 8GB of RAM instead of 6. So this phone will not just load things quicker, but it'll game smoother, download faster, and multitask more, all while consuming less power. There's also a souped-up S10 Plus with a ceramic finish, 12GB of RAM, and up to 1TB of storage, for those of you who've got a spare house you want to mortgage. You also lose the awkwardly placed fingerprint scanner on the Note 9, which, for me anyways, forced me to adjust grip just to use it, in place of a next-generation 3D sonic sensor. And so it's not just easier to reach now, but also more secure, and it even works if you've got wet hands. For a lot of people, even more significant than this is going to be the cameras. As well as a wide and telephoto lens like you see on the Note 9, the S10 Plus comes with an ultra-wide camera, which is really good for capturing entire rooms in one go. But it's not just that, the S10 is better in a lot of ways. It can detect more different scenes, it can take long exposure shots at night, and it can take super steady video, pretty much as good as it gets on phone. The S10 Plus also has the added benefit of two cameras on the front, which gives you better tracking for AR emojis and a more reliable front-facing portrait mode. But bear in mind that because of this new look that Samsung has gone for, they've had to ditch the iris scanner, something that the Galaxy Note 9 still has. Bit of a thorny topic. Samsung doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to giving devices updates, and there's a lot of Note 9s out there that are still stuck on Android 8.1. Mine included, whereas at least the S10 Plus ships with 9 out of the box, and it's likely to get the next Android 10 update earlier. But also bear in mind that even if you have a Note 9, you can still download Samsung's fancy new One UI software skin, which I really like, by the way, much cleaner and simpler. Oh yeah, and the S10 Plus has the coveted reverse wireless charging feature, although it's still pretty slow here, like on the Mate 20 Pro. So, which phone do you think won? Don't forget to enter the giveaway, rules are in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next one.